Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is apparently getting me choked up because I'm already having to clear my throat. This game is so serious to people because it is an investment. Yes, for selfish and hopefully selfless reasons, I would be very disappointed if the game went away today. Just imagine if we woke up and we got an email saying, yeah, the servers are shutting down. The Kabam headquarters are being raided. We will not have a game to play. I think there would be probably some kind of movement to save the game. Have somebody else buy it. It's hard for me to imagine a world where one day we just don't have a chance to log in and access our account. But every champion that we have put so much time and effort, and for many of us, money into, is just a strand of code. They're just something we are renting in Kabam's playbox in their playground until they decide to kick us out of that playground. So before Kabam decides to kick us out of the playground, we of course have the option to quit before that happens. And I have said many times on this channel that if my YouTube channel didn't save my love of the game, I would have retired from this game probably when this channel started to take off in 2018. And I certainly, even after YouTube, would have retired from the game and YouTube at the beginning of 2020 had the pandemic not happened. But now we're at 2024 and I'm still looking into a webcam talking about this game. So I still have some presence in the community, though, as far as the really hardcore effort videos that I did for years. I might bring some of those back this summer now that I have time to put more effort into it. But my promotion and my raise this year gave me a motivation to relax, take a step back from YouTube, and it's been the best thing ever for my mental health. Not for my bank account, but for my mental health. And that is the most important thing, especially when you consider buying a house for your fiance and her kids. With that being said, I want to bring up a post that is all about quitting MCOC. Now, I'm going to add on a sentence at the end, and I'm going to darken the screen real quick because I want to make sure I get the summoner's name right. It's PB317. Now, PB317 has such an unbelievable story that it's kind of hard for me to believe it. But maybe he's not the only one. Statistically speaking, you shouldn't be the only person that goes through things like this in a game. So let's assume that at least a couple other people out there are about to relate to what I'm going to read. He said, "Hey, Prof, I'm not sure if you still talk about issues with Kabam on your channel." I do still talk about them, not as often as I used to, but I still do, hence this video. Basically, I'm strongly thinking of quitting the game. Okay, that is quite the bold statement. I raised a ticket with Kabam on Friday about the Pulleys event. They responded saying they needed to verify, and I answered the questions, and then they didn't respond. I had to raise another help ticket in which I got a reply saying it's a duplicate ticket. Then they asked me the same verification questions, and the circle started again until they did not respond. I've asked them to tell me if I am answering any questions incorrectly, but they said they can't. I've been playing for 7 years plus. I've spent money on the game, and I'm the leader of a Gold 2 alliance. But I feel like Kabam just doesn't care about players, so why should I give them my precious time and money? Good luck with your channel, which I will unfortunately not be watching if I quit. Yeah, it's easy to remember that, well, all subscriber numbers on YouTube, I feel like, are fraudulent and probably filled with many old bots that no longer exist. But yeah, a lot of this people who started this channel and really grew it don't play the game anymore. They didn't actually unsubscribe. They just stopped playing the game. And so it's always important to remember that when you look at somebody's subscriber count. So what is the issue? Well, just imagine that during the Pulleys event, this is what you saw. No Pulley store. How is that possible? I don't understand how that's possible. And I'm still somewhat skeptical. I'm sure Kabam is too, but this was the follow-up information. He says, I couldn't access the web store, so I couldn't get the 60,000 pulleys in there. Therefore, I couldn't get the 900,000 Paragons. So he ended up saying that eventually the store came up, but the web store shut him out. This was not uncommon to him entirely because some people couldn't access it. Maybe he changed his account name, and that's why he couldn't log in. But Kabam Jax tried to explain this over the live stream last Friday. I asked Kabam to look at resolving, which they didn't, and the store is now gone. And so are his 840,000 pulleys because he was waiting for the 900,000 pulley gift, so he didn't spend a single pulley hoping to get that resolved. It never did, and then everything went away. Now, I try to be as objective and fair on this channel, even though I know I'll always get the nickname Mr. Negative. There is some user error going on here. I don't think this summoner necessarily has all of the original information saved of this account for the web store purposes, because I think the web store needs the previous account information, potentially if you change the password or email or whatever. That's the problem with some accounts, is that they're going for information that's not currently current, which doesn't make any sense to me, but that was, from what I can understand, the best explanation from Kabam Jax. He could have spent the 840,000 pulleys, and I would have said, buddy, you're not going to win this one. Don't let the store expire. Spin them before it goes away and turns into this again. He did not. He took on Kabam and lost. I think that part of this, and I'm sure he would disagree, is on him. But this is not a unique issue. This is a fairly common issue with a certain demographic of players, and it doesn't look like it's going to be resolved anytime soon. And so the web store is actually creating Kabam quite a headache for player morale, for people who can't access it, because they're not only, like, I would tell this summoner and everybody else, not only do you feel like you're being punished during the special whale holiday spring cleaning turn pulley event, but you're also missing really valuable daily crystals every day. Like, really valuable. For Valiant players, they've got me a free 7-star, multiple 7-star crystal shards, all kinds of stuff. And it must be alarming because there is a heavy siren driving by my recording studio right now as I end this video. I promised the summoner I would cover it. I did not promise that I would take his side during all of it. I can see Kabam's frustration with this. I think the worst part is they don't always know how to fix it, so they'll give some standard copy and paste questions that, like this summoner said, lead you to this endless death loop of never having a chance to get the problem solved. And that's definitely something he deserves to be frustrated about, because Kabam's support might have cost this man to quit the game. I think they could have responded better. I think they could have explained it how Jax did and said, hey, you need to know the previous login information and email and password before it got changed, because that's probably what the system expects. And if you don't know it, I don't know what else we can do for you. That's the sad, honest truth. But if they're just going to give you a bunch of questions that aren't even relevant always to the issue, and I've seen that with other issues I've covered on this channel, well then yeah, it's not going to go well. So that is my feedback for this video. I'm sorry if this wasn't completely a pro player stance like the summoner probably thought it would, but I still tried to say this is where Kabam was at fault, this is where he was at fault, and that's what I try to do on this channel, still present from one person's perspective a more objective view of issues, even if they are not as black and white as maybe some people think they are. So the world often exists in the gray, and I think this is one of those examples where this is a gray area for this help ticket and ultimately failed help request.